Hi guys, as promised, I'm back with another posing video. This time, we're going to be drawing a teenage manga guy. So, let's start by showing how we would set up the male mannequin. This indicates where the feet will be, and this is how tall he's going to be. This line helps us judge where the other parts of his body will go so that we don't accidentally find ourselves off the page or making it too small. This circle, well, sort of a squashed oval thing, indicates his hips, and those two joints are where his legs will be coming off. His shoulders are wider than his hips. With a girl, the case is that the shoulders are the same size as the hips, but males normally have wider shoulders than girls, so that's what we're going to be doing here. And instead of a rib cage sort of thing, it's going to be a slightly tapered box. And I'm going to move these down some. Only a little. Which means that he'll have to have slightly longer boundary line. And we have another set of joints for the knees, and the feet are simply, yeah, Yuki. And the feet are simply triangles. I'm gonna try to have them level. Normally, well, actually this is just the way I do it, but it seems to me that the elbow is about where the bottom of the rib cage will be, because this box does represent the rib cage, even though it isn't rounded as it is on a female mannequin. Although it could be if you wanted. It just makes things easier for me if I have it be all boxy. And then the arm will continue down with the hand falling around the middle of the thigh. Then the head, you can adjust the shape of the head based on how old your character is. If it's a younger character, he has a bigger head. If it's an older one, he has a smaller head. And now I'm just going to fill all this in. Even though we have indicated the hips, there's really not going to be much change in the line shape around here because they're pretty much straight up and down. So we just make almost a straight line for where we connect the hip to the chest. Even on a younger boy character, the arms tend to be a little thicker and more muscular than a female character. So I'm just going to keep that in mind as I do this. the mannequin done, I'm going to show you how to use this mannequin to make a pose. Now, this is not going to be a terribly dynamic pose. It's going to be a very relaxed one, like the girl's pose. So the idea for this is to have him in a sort of school uniform or just something that's not like a t-shirt and jeans, and he's going to have his hands in his pockets and be looking sort of sideways at us. So I'm going to begin with the action line, which is pretty much the general direction and bend his spine will be in. And at the top of that we put his head. And shoulders. And I think I'm going to have his head angled down. I think that would look more pleasing. His hips will be right here, turned away from us. Actually, yeah, the point of posing with a mannequin is to make all of these erasings and redraws much easier. So I'm actually going to put a little more swaying into his action line. The position his hands will be in to go into his pockets. The place where his hips are and his legs. This line shows us what direction the hips are tilting in, and this line shows us what direction his shoulders are tilting in. And I'm actually going to have his shoulders be tilting the other way because I think that would look a lot more natural. You know, maybe he doesn't have both of his hands in his pockets. Maybe he'll be waving. So let's do that. Of course, we don't want him to look like nervous or anything that would make him look really weak. So we're still speculating. I definitely want him to be walking, so his legs will be a little apart. We might tilt his head in the other direction, like we thought of in the first place. But then he looks sort of sarcastic. So I think that the current problem is in the shoulders. So I'm going to have them just slightly tilted in the other way. Okay, so he's not looking sideways at us anymore, but it's not a terrible thing to change up your idea if apparently it doesn't work. It's good to be able to open up to the way it really should be, if however you have to change it is the way it should be. And yeah, I don't think he's going to be waving. Maybe, yeah, I think I will have him have his hands in his pockets, both hands. And he'll just be sort of looking at us as he walks. Sort of looking. I still want it to be slightly sideways. So let's see how we can incorporate that. I think the knees should go a little higher than that, so let's do that. And then he's bending this leg just slightly as he walks. And unfortunately, I don't think this paper is big enough for me to be able to draw his feet. Not much of his feet, at least. So that's going to be rather annoying, but let's continue. Alright, I'm just going to go in now and make this pose a little easier to understand before we move forward with the face and the expression. Well, actually that's the same thing. I mean the face and the clothes. So I'm just going to go into a time lapse real quick and do that. Okay guys, sorry, but I think that the leg being straight looks a little better. He looks really casual, so sorry to be changing things so much. That just is how it goes in drawings sometimes. But yeah, now I think we're ready to go in and look at the face and the clothes. Okay, now that we have his outfit finished, I'm gonna just edit a few more things and then we can go on to the darkening the lines, which is pretty much the equivalent of inking in an all pencil drawing. So I might actually run and get my Prismacolor eraser because it's a nice little small one, much easier to use than this pink one, at least in some instances. But maybe I'll make do without it. Now this is not going to be a clothes tutorial. I'm going to do one of those later on. But hey, if you want to learn anything about drawing clothes, I'm going to have a little thing right here. So for a wrinkle, you go out, and at the top edge of it, you curve back in and make a sharp little hook. The purpose of wrinkles is to be uneven. That's how they look realistic. So have it change. Don't have wrinkles be symmetrical. That's just my point. Don't have them be symmetrical, or it will look very, I don't know, fake, I guess. So you don't really want to have them look the same on both sides. Then it doesn't look wrinkled. It looks like that's the look he was going for. And we have his pocket right here, and his cuff with the little button, the lump that his hand is making before it straightens back out, and then it comes down to the knees where it has just a couple of slight wrinkles. And then instead of having it be just straight out at the bottom, I'm actually going to have it come to rest as a big lump of wrinkles. I think that gives it a lot more personality and makes him look just a little bit messy, because we don't want him to be like the goody-goody character. At least that's not the look that I was going for this guy. So yeah, just a little sloppy, because his face is already so young and carefree and his hair is just barely styled. So I think that having the bottoms of his pants be almost rolled up would tie in nicely with his overall character. Then we have the belt, and it's just going to be really simple. We just put a lot of small bands to show where it hooks into his pants. There's one quick little thing that I want to touch on before I finish up this drawing. We give him a confident but still easygoing and kind of gentle, I suppose you would call it, look in this image by having his head tilted slightly forward to give him this sweet look, but his shoulders are very far back. He is holding them far back, which sticks his chest out, which makes him look a lot more confident. So that's one thing to note when you're drawing characters. How they hold themselves is really important, and it's also important to know what goes into how your character will be holding themselves. So now I'm just going to go in and erase all the mess. Before I put the shading in, I just realized that I forgot about his feet. So I'm just gonna fix that right now. I don't want him to have like little cartoon stubby things. So yeah, I'll begin the shading with his feet. Nice shiny black shoes. Just straight black, because they're like dressy shoes, I guess, which means that they have a slight heel, but the rest of them will just be normal. His pants will be kind of dark. And his shirt, of course, is going to remain white, but he's going to have a darker colored tie, not a black tie, just darker. I don't know if it's like brown or something, maybe. And that is it for this tutorial. I sure hope this video was helpful to you guys, and I had a lot of fun doing this video with you guys. I really love doing the face with him. I really like how that turned out. But yeah, next we're going to be working on super dynamic poses, action poses, stuff from like maybe superhero comics. So that's the sort of thing we'll be doing next, and I can't wait to do that with you guys. So see you there.